The sickening sound of a bone snapping. The roar of a packed arena turning to a collective gasp. July 10th, 2021, Conor McGregor, the biggest star in combat sports history, is down on the canvas, his leg twisted in a way a leg should never bend. He's not just beaten, he's broken. As medics rush in, he glares at his opponent, screaming, defiant, even in catastrophe. In the days that followed, pretty much everyone agreed you don't come back from this. The doubters said his time was up, that the notorious chapter was slammed shut for good. But they forgot one crucial thing. This is Conor McGregor, and if we know anything, it's that the story is never really over. To understand the comeback, you first have to understand the fall. UFC 264 was supposed to be the final chapter in his rivalry with Dustin Poirier. After a shocking knockout loss just 6 months earlier, this third fight was for everything, for legacy, for pride, and to shut down the whispers that his fire was fading. The build-up was classic McGregor, personal, nasty, and impossible to ignore. The world tuned in expecting fireworks. What they got was an inferno of the worst kind. Right at the end of the first round, McGregor threw a punch, stepped back awkwardly, and his leg simply gave way. His tibia and fibula shattered. Just like that, the fight was over. Sitting there on the mat, his back against the cage, McGregor's future didn't just seem in doubt, it looked like it was completely gone. A fighter's entire career is built on the very foundation that had just crumbled under him. He hasn't fought since that night. He had surgery and a titanium rod was inserted into his leg. The road back was going to be long, brutal, and for the first time in years, quiet. The constant noise around Conor McGregor died down. The fight world moved on, crowning new champs and creating new stars. The question wasn't when he would return, but if he ever could. For many, his last walk to the octagon was just Thetis' final one. The years that followed the injury were a strange mix of recovery, public drama, and incredible wealth. While his leg was healing, McGregor's life outside the cage got more chaotic than ever. We saw him on yachts, looking physically huge, more like a bodybuilder than a lightweight fighter. He was promoting his whiskey brand and even announced that he was now a part owner of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He was blurring the line between athlete and businessman. This didn't look like a fighter in recovery. It looked like an empire in motion. But getting back to the UFC was complicated. He left the official drug testing pool during his rehab, which kicked off a huge debate. His eventual return to the pool, and the very public fallout between the UFC and its anti-doping partner that followed, just added more drama to his situation. The drama wasn't just professional, either. His public image took some serious hits. An Irish civil court found him liable for an assault, and other incidents, from public spats to viral videos of him partying, made fans and experts wonder about his focus. Was he still committed to the punishing life of a fighter, or was he happy just being a celebrity? The more he posted about his money and lifestyle, the more people wondered if the hunger that turned a plumber from Dublin into a two-division world champion was gone for good. Even Dana White publicly questioned what could possibly motivate a man who already had it all. Just when it seemed like the comeback was nothing but a social media storyline, a spark finally lit the fire. In 2023, the UFC announced McGregor would return as a coach on The Ultimate Fighter. His opponent, the man he was supposed to fight, was Michael Chandler. The matchup was electric. Chandler was a powerful, explosive fighter who had patiently waited for his shot at the king. Suddenly, it felt real. McGregor was back in the mix, trading insults, facing off with an opponent, and talking about a fight date. The UFC marketing machine went into overdrive, billing it as the biggest return in sports history. After months of delays over testing windows, a date was locked in, the 29th of June, 2024. UFC 303. International Fight Week in Las Vegas. The stage was set. The event generated a record-breaking live gate of over $20 million, proving his star power was as bright as ever. The king was finally coming home. And this is where the story takes its cruelest turn. Just weeks before the fight, a massive press conference in his hometown of Dublin was cancelled out of nowhere. The MMA world went silent, holding its breath. The lack of information from McGregor's camp was deafening. Was it about money? Was he not ready? Then, Dana White made it official. McGregor was injured. The fight was off. You could hear the collective groan from fight fans around the globe. When McGregor finally revealed the injury himself, It was almost hard to believe. After coming back from a shattered leg, his return was stopped by a broken pinky toe. He said it was a lapse in concentration while sparring without full protective gear. He insisted he couldn't go into the octagon compromised again. He promised that when he returned, it would be at 100%. But the explanation didn't do much to soften the blow. A broken toe. For many, it felt like a frustrating, almost trivial reason to cancel such a huge event. After years of waiting, of drama, and of promises, the comeback had fallen apart right at the finish line. So here we are, in the shadow of another canceled fight. As of mid-2025, Conor McGregor is nearly 37 years old in advanced age in the lighter weight classes of MMA. His only win since late 2016 was a victory over Donald Cerrone way back in January 2020. Dana White has poured cold water on the idea of a quick return, stating in late 2024 that McGregor might not fight until late 2025. The man who once had the UFC in the palm of his hand now seems to be on the outside looking in. The saga with Michael Chandler is still unresolved, and as of now, Chandler has not been booked for another fight while he waits. Still, the whispers continue. McGregor's business partner at BKFC, David Feldman, claimed that McGregor told him he's in the testing pool and getting ready to make his comeback. This has been linked to perhaps the only spectacle big enough for him, a rumored UFC event on the White House grounds, an idea floated for the 4th of July, 2026. Yet for every potential step forward, it feels like there are 2 steps back. The headlines are too often dominated by new controversies, not by training footage. He has 2 fights left on his UFC contract, 2 more chances to rewrite the final pages of his story. The question is no longer about whether his body can heal, it's about his will. The journey of Conor McGregor has been one of incredible highs and baffling lows. From the depths of a career-threatening injury, he fought his way to the edge of a historic return, only to have it snatched away by a bizarre twist of fate. He is a fighter defined by his unbreakable will, but now he finds himself in a new kind of fight zone against his own legacy, against time, and against the countless distractions that his own success has built around him. Can the notorious one defy the odds again and write the one chapter his story is missing, the greatest comeback of all time, or has the fight outside the cage already been lost?